Welcome everyone to HueFin News. Today is October 4th, 2018, and this is our opportunity to make sure that the articles that we run across actually makes sense. And if they're trying to sway or persuade us to go a certain direction, we do appreciate you all coming to this particular channel, because that is going to be our objective, is to make sure that the articles or the things that we see on the internet, if it actually makes sense according to the charts. Okay, that is our whole objective for this particular YouTube channel, is for us to predict where prices are likely to go and to make sure that no one is pulling our tails to try to sway us to move a certain direction as to whether to buy or sell a particular stock, cryptocurrency, commodity, whatever the case may be. So let's start with Apple. Today, you can see that this article came out yesterday, October 3rd, 2018. The author looked like it is Benjamin Rains, and the title tells us, it reads, Apple stock remains a buy at the new high. So obviously you already know that Apple has made a all-time high yesterday, and this article is telling us that it is still a buy. And as we scroll down and we look at this particular article, I highlighted some things that kind of makes it show that they're trying to sway us into buying Apple stock. So first, Apple shares jump Wednesday to touch yet another new high. So that's positive. Aside from the buzz, so obviously there's some euphoria, some news, some hearsay going on about this particular stock surrounding the new iPhones. Apple stock looks like a buy even as the stock price continues to climb. See, that is another persuasive statement that this particular author or article is trying to tell us. We continue to scroll down. You can see here that investors should be pleased as the fintech industry and the streaming music market look poised to expand. So obviously they're trying to tell us that Apple is going to try to get into the streaming music, the Netflix, all those particular streaming TV market, in order to spruce more interest into us buying this particular stock. It also states that the other products that Apple sells climbed 37% to reach $3.74 billion. Apple plans to enter the streaming TV market could prove to be a game changer. See, all of these positives is being reflected on Apple on to push to us the ability to show us that, yes, you need to go ahead and buy this stock as of right now. Apple saw its stock price pop roughly 2% Wednesday, so that was yesterday, to touch a new all-time high of $230.47 per share. Now we get into the projections, the estimates. So that literally tells you now we get into the real deal, because estimate means that it doesn't, it's foreseeable, but it does not necessarily mean it's going to happen. So Zacks Consensus is calling for Apple fiscal fourth quarter revenues to jump nearly 17% to hit $61.4 billion. That is an estimate. So what if they fall to 16.5? Will the market for Apple stock continue to drop dramatically? Probably so. So just keep that in mind. And then you get to the section called the bottom line. Apple has earned 3 earnings estimate revisions. So even though this article is telling us to buy Apple, we need to be careful, because they always come back and revise their estimates. Okay, and that was even over the last 30 days with 100% agreement to the upside. During this same stretch, the company has also received 3 upward revisions for its full year and 6 for fiscal year 2019. So they have already received 3 upward revisions for 2019, and we're not even there yet, against 0 downward changes. So as of right now, everyone is telling you to buy Apple. But as of right now, you can tell that the strong earnings revision trend helps Apple earn Zacks' rank of number 2 buy. The company also boasts a grade for momentum and a B for growth in our style score system. Therefore, Apple stock might be worth buying even at its new highs because it looks poised to grow and expand into booming industries. Now, as always, we're an organization that's going to show you the news according to the charts, and let's go there now. So this is a monthly chart for Apple, and yes, it has made an all-time high in the month of October, which occurred yesterday. Obviously, you can tell that we are starting the month off with some sellers into the market as it continues to move to these upward higher prices. Taking a look at the weekly chart, and again, you can still see sellers in the market on the weekly chart. So it doesn't look like Apple is a buy at this particular moment. Now we're looking at the daily price chart in Apple, and here you can see that we are showing some signs of selling in the market even a little bit clearer. Okay, so obviously this article is telling us to buy Apple, and the chart is telling us a different story. Now is not the opportunity to buy Apple. Okay, 4-hour chart, you can still see that we're moving lower in price. That $232 area is now going to be the resistance area. That last 4-hour bar still tells us that the market's going to continue to move to the downside. So literally, I'm expecting Apple to move lower in price. $224 would be the first area of support. And ultimately, if the overall stock market has a severe movement to the downside, then Apple could come down to 220, even 216. So literally, yes, the article is telling us to buy Apple, but the chart is not telling us that. I'm still looking for Apple to move lower in price. 226, 224 would be the first areas that I would like to see this stock hold support. But again, ultimately, we could come all the way back down to $220 once everything is said and done. As of this particular moment, I'm not going to say that Apple is a buy. The chart is definitely not telling us that it is a buy. So I would say to hold on until we get a different change in tone in the market, which we're not getting at this particular moment. So again, leave us a comment. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to tell me, where do you think Apple is going to go, let's say for the rest of this month? Okay, by the end of October, do you think Apple is going to be trading higher from where it's currently is being traded, or do you think it's going to be trading lower from where it is today? Leave your comment in the comment section of this video. I would like to hear what you guys have to say. Again, make sure y'all maintain your profitability. I will talk to you all later.